Welcome back to our Vintage Series, episode 5. On the previous episode, got a lot of field work done. We put we got 9 bales, which was spectacular. We put them off to the right side here. We'll try to use the left side if we can remember to do that. I guess the bigger stack. We'll feed them to the cows. But like I said, we could let them eat on meadow grass for a while. There's plenty there. We bought a new lime thrower. We're going to have to use the skid steer to get these into the hopper here. We actually got the big extension on it. It was like $7,000. Oh, and by the way, we did, on the previous episode, we did install the mod where it'll sell excess animals. And we did get $100 for our chickens that were breeding baby chicks. So, not a whole lot, but it will add up and offset some of the maintenance costs. Again, that was suggested by a user. So that should help us out a little bit here. We'll get this into the spreader. Let's jump over to the field quick, because I wasn't sure how the growth... Shortcut through the cow pasture here. Don't mind me. Okay, yeah, it ain't terrible. We could actually see where the lime is. I'm not sure if that shows on the mini-map or not. I know the nitrogen does. I don't think the lime does. But I guess we'll find out. I'm a little worried here that the skid steer is not going to be able to lift these pallets up. It should be able to do some of these. They're kind of small. But the polar ones, I think this thing's going to struggle with. These are heavy pallets and it can barely handle it. I'm trying to think of what we can do to make this work. Maybe get some kind of a bin. Yeah, it's filmed. It's just too heavy, which is unfortunate. This is a full pallet right here. It's probably going to struggle with this one. I'll try to get it as square as we can. We could probably go quickly, and then maybe it'll get up there fast enough to before we lose our balance. Well, looks like it might actually work. Might not even take it all either. Excellent. Oh, yeah, I guess if it gets off balance just a little bit, it's gonna tip on us. I think we might park that truck in this area over here. I mean, we could park the truck here on the left side and still have room for our mulcher here and everything else. Or we could find a better spot for the mulcher. I kind of do like using this area, though, for the pallets and seeds and all that stuff. But we could also use that shed where our our horses are for that as well. I guess we'll get everything figured out at some point in the playthrough. Hopefully this lasts quite a while before we have to refill. 1,500 liters. And I think our old one was only 1,000. We had to get this one because it has wheels. And we don't have to worry about our tractors tipping up on us. Really should have had that from the start. But our grandpa gave us what he gave us. I don't know what he was doing. He must have had some extra weight somewhere that we couldn't find, or maybe he sold them at some point. I don't know. Let's see. Let's hopefully this mini-map will work. I'm not absolutely sure. Okay, turn on. Oh, actually, we should set up some lines. There we go. And we don't necessarily need to waste any as we do this. Okay. Turn it on. We are off to the races. I could just use the lines too, just for guides, I guess, without having to lock on. Yeah, it's not working in the mini map, so we'll just shut that off, I guess. I guess we almost kind of have to go as fast as we can go, otherwise we might lose out. Because it'll overspread. We're at perfect 6.75 for pH. I think what we'll do too, after we get this all taken care of, is we will go ahead and use the slurry spreader. We'll get to try that out for the first time. Kind of excited. We are going to have to pay for that though, so if that does get a little expensive, we might want to switch back to the manure until we figure out what we're doing. We might as well run back to the farm at this point. 30 liters. Didn't go as long as I thought it would have. But yeah, they bring it right to our farm, the slurry, and we just gotta load up and then we pay for it as we use it. Couldn't ask for a better system. We'll go over here again, I guess. Pallets of honey. Stacking up. It won't be till March. We got a little ways on that. Probably get a good couple pallets out of it. Looks like it's acting heavy on us again here. Yeah, we're gonna have to find, I think, a different kind of system. I guess we could... We have these new bags in the shop, we could buy those. Then we can fill it by hand, I think. Only thing is it might take a lot to do that. But they are very nicely designed bags. And I wouldn't mind switching to them. These are heavy. Without tipping over would be great. There we go. Oofta. It does have a nice width spread on it though. But really, hopefully this should be the last spread that we do. We'll finish this line down here. Perfect. And then... Is it just one down? Yeah, we should get it all in, no problem. And... Bam. How did we do? Is there any area? Oh, there's a little bit right here. Yeah, so that's... GPS didn't do us very good here. Is there a width that we missed? Oh, there's no working width. I don't know why it did that. It must have thought it was bigger than it actually was. There's the modder didn't put it in right. Nonetheless, we'll get this taken care of. Because we are going to do silage next. We'll use the silage wrapper. And we are going to sell that. Or make some more money. That's probably one of our biggest ways to make profit, I think. There's a little on this, yeah, right here. Will be the silage sales. Looks like there's a couple critical spots we missed, but for the most part, this should do us well. I guess there's some lower values in here. It's pretty realistic though, you wouldn't get exactly what you need every time in real life. Okay, we'll get this back. I think if we should try to clear out some of that space, we'll get the truck put over there. We could put these the lime spreader and all these other implements over here somewhere. It feels more like a garage over there. We want to make sure we get everything out here easily if we need to. Let's see, we got a mulcher and a wagon. Ball wagon. Let's put the mulcher in the other shed. Looks like it can handle the weight. Probably have to move our trailer to the other side of the... Do we call it a garage? Kind of technically is the garage. Since there's so much seed and stuff on this side. This doesn't really work so well on this tractor, does it? Our utility trailer. We might get use out of it one of these days. I know this will be in the way here, but we'll just set it there for now. We'll probably have to lime our barley field too, I imagine. Again, the lime isn't something we need to do every year though either. But once we get things kind of where they need to be, then it's on cruise control for a bit. Okay, let's shut this back up again. And then we'll grab the truck here. We'll put that in the garage. If we could sneak in here. If we could try to use our mirrors. Get it somewhat right. It's actually not going to take up as much space as I thought it was going to. Okay. Alright, how does that look? Yeah, that's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be in here. Yeah, it should work fairly well. And we can shut these doors once in a while too. Bam. Okay, so we need to We're going to get some slurry spreading in. What is the power requirements on that slurry tank? It is... Actually, it doesn't even have it on there. We could probably take the vintage tractor. Get some use out of that. Been a few episodes since we got to use that one. The A John Deere. It may struggle once we get it full, though. But I still think it's worth a try. Gotta pull its weight on the farm. No pun intended. Let's see, the hitch was that way. We should go around. And I will hook it up. I'm hoping it's fine though. Here is our slurry container that the people bring in. And we just gotta fill it up. We'll see what this costs. It might be crazy expensive. Especially on our budget. Oh no, it's already tipping too. We're gonna have to go with the other tractor. That's not good. Well, 3,200, 253. Not terrible, I guess. It's a little bit expense, but maybe it'll last a while. Yeah, we gotta get the other tractor because this thing is not gonna handle it, unfortunately. I was looking forward to using this. Put this over here. $710 should be able to handle her. Hopefully, like I said, the working width is gonna be pretty decent. There we go. Yeah, not a problem at all. Probably definitely won't do the grass field all the time. It's basically like free money because it keeps growing back. Okay. Well, this one will show us in the lower left where we gotta go yet. It's perfect. Fire her up. We are off. We're kind of hitting the orange. Is that where we want to be? Looks like it is. We're actually... You could say we're a little high because we actually need to target 65. But it's good to have a little extra because every time we harvest, we're going to be losing some. Excellent! So let's get to her. Couple more spots here we missed. We were making corners. But there we go. Tank is empty. I think we did fairly well for spread. Again, it always kind of looks bad because of the orange and stuff, but we actually look at the required what we need. We're actually above in areas. 105. Perfect. I think we did a better job on the nitrogen than we did on the lime with the pH. Excellent. Like I said, we probably won't worry about that again for quite some time. Because grass is kind of free. We'll just let it give us what it gives us. We are going to get another harvest in before the end of the year. We're going to do silage bales. We'll wrap them. And we'll sell all those. We'll take all that profit. Let's see, the slurry tank could probably stay over here since it's going to smell. Best to stay by the pigs. Perfect. Okay, so I think without further ado, I think we're ready to advance. Gotta check over a few things. Make sure everything is decent here. Yeah, so it looks like our barley is going to be ready to harvest in June. We'll get to use the combine for the first time in the series. Pretty exciting. Guess we'll just put this right here. We're going to need all the room we can get to get the combine out. Although we're going to need the trailer as well. But I guess we could do that later. Let's check the sales before we advance. Not that we can afford absolutely anything at 6,000. How much did we spend on slurry? So we kind of got an idea of what that costed us. Slurry was that can't be right because we paid 600. But I guess that probably wasn't that expensive to do the slurry that way. Okay, we'll get to, I guess we're going to get to June unless something comes up in the sales for cheap, but we really can't afford anything. Alright, we have made it to June. It looks like our barley is ready to harvest. So we shall get on that. Can't afford anything in the sales. Okay, so we're going to have to use this thing. Man, is it even going to run? That's the question we got to ask ourselves. Let's hop up here and fire her up. Oh man. She starts up. I'll give her that. We don't need to... Oops. Accidentally turn it on. Okay, so we gotta squeeze out of here. Hopefully without nailing anything. I guess that's gonna be pretty tight. If we can get around the corner. Holy moly. Just barely. This thing feels like a giant though compared to the area. I mean, it's huge. Look at this thing. Holy moly. Okay, let's get over here. Yeah, it's a little tight in here. Even the horse is interested in watching me go through here. So before we start, let's take a look at our crop and see what the harvest will be. So we got... Yeah, our pH is bad and nitrogen's bad. But our expected yield is 103%, which is pretty good. Yield potential is 125. We're going to have to, like I said, get some lime spread on here. And we're also going to have to get some slurry or manure put on there. Probably do the manure since it's in the piles right there. Alright, let's fire her up. We are going to do a swath drop, I guess, because we'll make some straw bales out of this, get some extra cash. Let me double check and make sure. Enabled swath drop. We'll put her down. Man, this thing's gonna shake apart on us. Now we're getting hung up on the... I guess the swath is working. We're getting hung up on our manure pile. We'll start from a different direction. We could actually start way on the end over here since we have the road. Thought we should have did it. Let's get flipped around here. Let's try this again, shall we? And we are off. 5 miles an hour. Which actually, for this small of a field, feels pretty good. It ain't gonna take long to fill up either. We're gonna need that wagon configured and brought over. How's our swath looking? Decent. Good thing we got another day in the month to get that baled and get all of our lime done. I guess we could probably wait to... We have to figure out what we're going to plant on here again. We'll probably... I mean, we could throw this in the silo and leave it for our chickens. Or we could decide to sell it. Give that swath some time to stop before I pull back. Because we do have plenty of chicken feed. They haven't used that up, like, hardly any. They probably will sell this. We'll just get it in the silo then and see where it's gonna go. We're gonna have to probably miss some on the end here because that manure is just tackling the field. I'll try to get it. It's gonna be quite difficult, I think. Yeah, we'll have to leave that little bit, unfortunately. We'll have to put a grass spot in that area. If that's where we continue to dump the manure, we could probably find a better spot for the manure too. Doesn't necessarily need to be there. Wow, that's tough to get through there. There we go. We'll have to windrow it too, I suppose, otherwise it's going to be too many times up and down. We're breathing in all this dust. Looks like we had a little bit of, is that hail damage? Which was expected. We had some, quite a bit of hail earlier this year. Man, this thing just feels like it's shaking apart on us. Okay, almost full. 2,300 liters. We'll put our pipe out. And we'll get the trailer configured. Like I said, we have plenty of chicken feed, so we should go ahead and sell the barley. If we ever have to buy any more chicken feed, it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, there's some awesome bags in the store that I want to check out. We can lift them by hand as well. I just took a wrong turn. Okay, I decided to come in the other way here. Make it easier to swing through here. We get the sides on our trailer. We probably don't need those extensions. Just like that is perfect. That holds 5 5,000. We should be able to get a few times unloaded. It might actually, let's see. Yeah, we probably won't get it all. But yeah, we'll have to dump a couple times maybe. Guess we'll go this way. Horse is staring right at the harvester. Guess he's never seen one before. Here we are. In you go. Filling up quick. Yeah, we'll definitely use our big dump truck to sell it. Well, like I said, it's only appropriate on the fields to use the wagon. Okay. Let's get cracking here. And then we'll see you after the harvest. Alright, I went ahead and shut the swath drop off on this last little bit. The corners just get ridiculously small. There's no point of it. I do want to see, I think this gives us a, maybe even more so now with the precision farming. I think it gives us, shut her off here. Ooh, that's noisy. I think it gives us a mulch state. Everything's bad now, ain't it? Jesus. Yep, it does do a mulch state. But we're gonna mulch anyway. We got a lot of actually field prep to do on this thing. With whatever we decide to do for... Pipe out here. For whatever we decide to do on the next crop. Is this wagon full? Almost. Might as well top her up. 4,600 so far. Brakes are a little hard there. 5,000. So get this put into our old silo. We can go around either way. First time using the silo. Let's see. Yeah, we got a dump here. I gotta be careful. Yeah, the brakes are a little... It's a little hard to stop with that load on. we already got an icon. Is it tip? Yep, tip left. That's actually perfect. Go ahead and do that. I'm glad we don't have to be right by it. That'd be kind of difficult. In the silo we go. There we go. So we got, yep, 5,000. There was that 40 wheat in there that must have just been sitting at the bottom of the silo. And that will deliver in January. Max value 5,000. Wow, that is actually nice to look at. That'll be worth a good chunk of change then. We'll see what the total is here. We got a little bit left in the combine. I don't think we're not going to use the windrower on this field because it's so small, and we were better off just running the baler. Another 838 liters. In you go. Yeah, so it'll be worth like, ooh, 6,632 around there. An estimate? Not too bad at all. Alright, we'll leave this under here. I'm gonna leave the tractor here too. But we'll get this put back into our shed. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna call it there for the episode. And on the next episode, what we're gonna have to do is we got so much field work to do here. We gotta bale this straw up. We got to mulch it. We gotta lime it. We gotta get some... I suppose we actually probably shouldn't do the nitrogen until we get a crop in there, which we haven't even figured out what we want to do next. I guess the corn header, yeah, does sunflowers and corn. I don't know, we'll have to think about that and see what we're gonna do. Many options there. So I'm gonna squeeze this back through into the shed. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.